So this is from the this is Institute for Family Studies. Now they are drawing this from census data. They're drawing this from other research as well. So it's kind of it's a meta search, meta study. Okay. So, I mean, you could just look at this right here. You want stats? Here's stats for you right now. Okay. One partner versus, say, 21 plus partners. I find it interesting that they say, you know what, after 21, forget it. We're not even going to keep stats for that anymore. So we can look at this right here. And if you look at this as also this source that the Family Studies Institute is taking this from is the General Survey Study, which, by the way, is the same study that we quote all the time when we talk about the decline in sex when it comes to men between the ages of 18 and 29. It's the same study that was drawn from. Okay, so this is it's CDC, it's Census Bureau, Statista, it's these guys as well. So if you're going to like attack me on, what about the source? It's multiple sources.
Yeah.
So let's put that out there right now. Okay. So if you look at this and you look at, okay, what is marital satisfaction? Because in her video, she talks about like pair bonding. Okay. And we'll get to that point. Well, that's another kind of bullet point we have to cover here, but we have to kind of bring up what is pair bonding first, because what that is it's a misnomer. It's a mistake in terms. They're using a terminology that does not relate to the statistics and the principles and the ideas about male paternity or why is a woman's sexual past important. This is one figure amongst four that we're going to talk about today. But if you look at, like, say, one partner versus 21 partners, I don't think it's rocket science to figure this kind of stuff out. Okay. This is also, by the way, this is from 1989 to 2016. So this isn't just like, oh, they just picked this stuff up, 10 years ago. No, this is a very long-term study that they've done. So we're going to look at some other stats here as well. This is just marital satisfaction. What is marital satisfaction? Is that pair bonding? So is that happiness? What constitutes marital satisfaction? And again, this is self-reported by women who are in those relationships.
Right. So as we can see, so the blue line, just for the people out there that are watching it, so they might not. So the blue line represents the women, and the yellow line represents the men. And you can see that
6 to 10 partners is higher for men.
So there's a perfect, and you guys can see the little star there in between. So as you guys can see, sexual experience benefits men to a degree while it hurts women from a relationship standpoint. And so it looks like 6 to 10 partners seems to be the magic number as far as when
the drop off. Like, weren't we asked about that? Like, what's the magic number? Yeah. Okay. Well,
on the show, girls always ask, "What's that number that makes me a hoe?"
5.
For body count.
6, and you're pushing it.
Yeah. So okay. So 5. Okay. So so it looks to be 4 and below, if I'm not mistaken, seems to be the best.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So
let's be real here.
Okay. So that. Go ahead.
Yeah, girls won't qualify for that.
Some girls get 4 dudes in a day. If I'm going to be honest.
You have to also. And by the way, what is it? The Institute for Family Studies is actually a pretty good resource, I think, for red pill stuff, like for red pill understanding. Now, a lot of people say, well, they're kind of like they're TradCon or whatever. Yes and no, but I think that the sources, the research that they cite for their articles, if you look past those articles and you go look at the actual research, then you go, oh, okay, now I understand what they're saying. So you can sort of pick that. Most people don't have the I don't know, the interest or the patience to actually. Maybe I'm stupid to do it, but like this is what I take interest in. So I'll go and I'll check out the research that the aggregate sites are using as well.
So if someone is looking at this and wants like I guess a summary from 50,000 feet, it is once a woman hits about it looks like 6 partners or above, it starts to drop off quite a bit as far as like satisfaction in a marriage.
Yes. Okay. So let's can we get to the
that's the takeaway for y'all.
Can we get to the IFS link?
It's a green chart, right?
Yeah, well, you can go to those charts as well. There's I think I gave it to you. It's ifsstudies.
Okay, that's in the Telegram chat, Chris.
Yep, got it.
Okay. Yeah, the IFS studies is because that's where they're drawing this data from.
Yeah,
because I think people will say, well, they're just using one data point. No, there are like
multiple
dozens of data points.
And this is what these TikTokers are not going to tell you guys. They're not going to say
this you're not going to get this in a 30-second video. In between each line.
Is this it right here?
So that's this is the data set. That's fine. You can show that one out too.
No, we can do the other one if you want.
No, I got the site, but let's go with this. We'll start with this right here.
Women who have more non-marital sexual partners are less likely to have stable marriages.
Right.
Here's
so
the chart here.
Again, marital satisfaction, marriage stability. Okay. What does that mean? Is that pair bonding? I ask again, is that pair bonding? If it's not, then we need to move on, and we need to define the terms of what we think is pair bonding, what we don't. I'm gonna destroy that here in just a moment, but we need to look at the data first.
Let us know. Okay, so Rollo, for someone that and Chris, can we enlarge it a little bit if we can?
Yeah, might need to scroll down a little bit so they can see where it comes from.
Okay, so
source CDC.
Okay, so I can read it real quick. It goes. The title is go up to the top real quick, Chris. It goes, women who have more non-martial sexual partners are less likely to have stable marriages. Okay, let's scroll down there and I'll read the part and then we'll interpret the graphs. So this chart covers sexually active women over the age of 30. Women were defined as having a stable marriage if they were currently married and had been in that same marriage for at least 5 years. Women who had more non-martial sex partners, marital sex partners were less likely to have stable marriages. Over 80% of the women who had never had a non-marital partner were in stable marriages. By contrast, only 30% of the women with 5 non-marital sex partners were in stable marriages. So according to this one, it could be even less than 6.
So I ask, what is pair bonding? Is it stable marriages? Is that what it is? Because I want to know. Like somebody tell me what quote unquote pair bonding, because again, it's one of these abstract terms that we throw around. And maybe the red pill's to blame about that. Maybe I've never used pair bonding because I shy away from that, because when I read a book like Promiscuity by Dr. Tim Burkhead, I know the scientific definition of what pair bonding is, like when two swans are on the lake and they pair bond for life, right? Or it's like some species of field mouse that stays together for life. Okay, that we can say that's monogamous pair bonding for life. Got it. Thank you very much. But do human beings do that? No, but we do get married.
Yeah.
We do have long-term commitments. It's supposed to be for a lifetime. Is that pair bonding? You tell me, because apparently we're trying to define terms. And again, can't really do that in a 30-second video between.
No. And the thing also is that I think people need, here on this side of the internet, we understand that pretty much pair bonding is like how do you say it? It's a placeholder term for people to know.
I don't use it. Honestly, I don't use it. I would much rather use marital satisfaction, right? Or happiness.
We might have to transition from that too, because people get confused. But when people use pair bonding in this side of the internet, 9 out of 10 times it means marital satisfaction.
We'll take on pair bonding.
Being able to be with a man in a monogamous relationship and not fuck it up, essentially, from the female perspective.
Let's move on to the next one. I've got
is there any, but just real quick for the people so they can interpret this graph. So can you scroll up real quick? Chris,
1 second.
Open it back up. So that people can kind of understand the numbers and the heights and everything else like that.
Yeah, no problem.
So they can read it. All right. Okay. So Rollo, can you tell the people real fast how?
Well, okay. So this is, you got to look at this in terms of the other 4 that we're going to look at as well. However, I will say this right now. So this is reports of marital stability. Okay. Marital happiness, marital satisfaction, meaning I'm glad I'm in this marriage kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so the more partners a woman has, the less satisfaction she reports.
Yeah.
And this has been going on, I think this one started in 1995 and we're going all the way up to 2022 or 2020, I think. So when we look at 0 partners, I mean, it kind of stands to reason. If you don't know any better, you don't know what you're getting, you're probably pretty happy, right? It's ignorance is bliss. You've never had the benchmark for your sexual experience is the guy you married.
Okay, you can't miss what you never had.
Exactly. So
and look at that, dude. 80.47 with 0 partners. So if you marry a virgin,
now here's the kicker though. How many women in, let's just say, Western, industrialized nations, societies have 0 partners?
Nope.
How many?
Well, the girl from last night, actually. Well, the black girl from last night. Bro, she stood in the car saying, "Oh, I'm a virgin." I'm like, bro, no, you're not.
Bro,
but here's devil's advocate though. They're gonna say, Rollo, Myron, Fresh. Hold on a minute. If I have experience with different partners, that means I know how to choose the right one though. Because if I have no experience, then I don't know. Yeah. So what's your take to that devil's advocate?
I mean, and that goes back to, again, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We're presuming that men and women are equal. So a man who has had a lot of sexual partners tends to be the kind of man that other men want to be and other women want to have sex with. I think it was Sterling Cooper who said, if you know your way around a woman's body, there's no higher demonstration of higher value than knowing that you know how to please a woman. Well, how do you know how to please a woman? Because other women have rewarded you with sex. You've been high value enough for them to want to get with. Yeah. And so therefore that makes confidence, that makes experience. And so a guy who has had more sex partners tends to be somebody who is a little bit more, let's just say, worldly, I guess, and knows his way around a woman's body. Okay. Now, should that be like the benchmark and the metric by which we measure that guy's, self-worth? Well, it's certainly one of them. Certainly part of all of that. But I think that people think that when we talk about this, that's all we're focusing on. Well, if you're not getting laid, then you're not a man, right? Well, yeah, but that's part of a greater whole. So when I say, women want to be with the man who other men want to be and other women want to bang. Okay. So the part where we're talking about other men want to be, yeah, you've got to have your shit together. You got to have, interests. You've got to be intelligent. You've got to be on top of your game money wise, money, muscles, game, right? Frame, right? That whole frame side of that thing. That's the whole package. And part of that package is knowing how to deal with women, knowing women's nature, knowing how to, be in a sexual relationship with them, knowing how to go from attraction all the way to, intimacy with her in bed, right? That's part of that collected whole.
And look at this. The scary part is look at how it drops off precipitously after 0. Like it just it goes down and down and down, and and we're up to 21 plus. You got a 20% chance. Like, god damn, bro.
I did not put this. I didn't say this on last Sunday, and I meant to. Is that you look at that right there, and that's after one previous lover.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had one guy, and then you married her, right? Now, guys will say this all the time. Well, I don't want to get with the girl who's run through. I don't want a girl who has a 10 body count. I don't want to. You guys ask the girls on here all the time.
I would argue that most women in today's day and age.
What do you think the average is? What do you think?
That's what I was gonna say. By the time a girl's 25, I would argue they're somewhere in that 6 to 10, all the way up to 21 plus range.